Hey, so today I'm going to talk about 2021 Disney blockbuster film Jungle Cruise. It's directed by Collet-Serra and stars Emily Blunt, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, among other people. Now, this is based off of a ride in Disneyland, or so I've been told. So, the expectation, and I think it had like a $200 million budget. We have to keep those things in check, because I didn't watch any of these trailers. I actually watched only the last trailer because I was trying to figure out whether to, I don't know, invest my time in it, whether I want to watch this film or not. I saw the trailer and it instantly reminded me of The Mummy. Now, I know a lot of people actually got reminded of Romancing the Stones, Indiana Jones, Pirates of the Caribbean, among other things, but to me it screamed Mummy. And after that, the second film that reminded me of it is obviously Pirates of the Caribbean, because Pirates of the Caribbean is also another film that is actually based on the ride. Now, as far as Jungle Cruise goes, this I would say is a very basic film. This, I think they're gonna make a franchise out of it, but this clearly does not have enough franchising potential as, like, I don't know, Pirates of the Caribbean had, because that has Johnny Depp and a lore that is weirdly complex. And as time went by, I think they were trying to kind of incorporate things from other myths and other pirate lore, and from there it just went on. The problem with Jungle Cruise is this film doesn't have anything. This film doesn't have a leg to stand on. So it's just like making up characters, and I don't know what kind of writers actually made this or how talented they are. I'm not going to get into that. But the characters are like a mishmash of things, even though there were like 3 or 4 villains who were like sort of a Pirates of the Caribbean-esque CG villains, and I actually like their design. I wish there were more in this film. But the thing is, I actually like this film. When I was going to watch this film, I reminded myself constantly that I'm not going to take it too seriously, because it's not that kind of film. It'd be like unfair to like kind of compare it to the other that week starer, that is David Lowery's Green Knight. So those are like not even apples and oranges. These are like very different things. It's like apples and eggs, if you will. It's not even in the same category. It's not even in the same ballpark. Those are like, yeah, food. And by then I mean those things are cinema. They're films, but they're very different films. So I kind of went with the open mind and I enjoyed it, because Rock is Rock. He's always charming. He's ever charming. You can at this point watch Rock in anything. It doesn't have to matter that the film has to be good or not. Emily Blunt is really nice. She is a very solid lead. I recently watched her in Quiet Place Part 2, and she plays a very different role from there than here. And of course, I've said it again, the dynamic are kind of reminiscent of Rick O'Connell and Eve in the Mummy franchise. Those things are kind of very reminiscent, but the reason that I liked it, because these are the kind of film that you do not get, because blockbuster tentpole films has gone on to like 2 opposite polar ends. At one end, this is like franchisee bonanza, where everything has to be connected, and that is everything has to be like marvelized, and here you get your superhero films, your Transformers and things like that. At the opposite spectrum of the canon, there are still some blockbuster films made. Those are kind of unconventional. For example, Villeneuve's Blade Runner and the upcoming Dune. Those are the kind of films that do not come into the broader perspective of what it means to be a blockbuster. Like in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and not actually, like 80s, 90s, the blockbuster films were much more meshed together, if you will, because they were trying to do everything at once. That has significantly died down, but I think Jungle Cruise is a good reminder of that. This film's cinematography is gorgeous. The CG work is solid. The acting work, what I said, is nice. What is something weird though is the jarring music choice. As the film rolled around, I knew what was playing, but I couldn't believe that it was playing. It's actually a retuned version of Metallica's Nothing Else Matters, but the drum that plays and kicks off the whole song, that never plays. So it's kind of like a sort of, you kind of get, they leave you high and dry. You can't do anything because that strong doesn't go there. And then after that, during some sort of montage scenes or some fight scenes, they play this jarring music that just goes so unwell with this. Because I have seen the director's Collet-Serra's film with Blake Lively, The Shallows. And Shallows is such a tight-knit film. Shallows have everything under control. But when you watch this film, it feels like things are like spilling over. You can't like contain this in it. But I try to remind myself that I like films. Even though I talk about films and I try to review films, that doesn't mean I can enjoy them. I really enjoyed this film. I give this film 2.5 out of 5. This is like an extremely split smack dab in the middle of the film. This is the type of film that you're gonna watch if it plays on the TV for free, or if it's like playing somewhere else and you're gonna just like, oh yeah, that's going on. You're gonna watch it. I think it's gonna remain in the part of the popular culture for some time. Of course, I have no idea what kind of franchisee potential it has. This might be also be a one-off thing, but I'm glad it exists. I watched it and I had a lot of fun with it, more than I ever thought I would, or more than I thought this film could ever could. But I like it. Recommend it.